When I first started playing High on Life, I had no real idea of what I was getting into. Like I said in my first time playing video, I like going into most of my games as blind as possible. I usually see the initial announcement for a game, and if it's something I know I'm going to want to play, I will instantly start blacking out the rest of the content I see coming my way relating to the subject, so I can have an unadulterated experience of the game, and High on Life was no different. High on Life is definitely one of my favorite PS5 game playthroughs, right next to Lies of P and Baldur's Gate. I also know for a fact once I finish the game, Monster Hunter Wilds will be the next game on that list, probably standing above all other titles except for Baldur's Gate 3. I've sunk too many hours into that game to not call it my favorite PS5 title, but at this moment, I would say Monster Hunter Wilds is giving it a run for its money, but that's a debate for another video because this is my review of High on Life.
Selling humans as drugs. You're the only one that can stop them. You realize we're gonna have to take out the entire alien drug cartel.
You're just gonna leave me here in what, space?
Everybody lives in space, including you. All right, you're a bounty hunter now. You gotta help me rescue my friends. They're Gatlians, just like me.
Hey, why are you squeezing me so tight? How about a little dinner first and some bubble bath maybe first? Look at us, blasting away!
Oh yeah, that's one of my children. They die fast. Don't worry, it's easy to make more. Hey there, I'm knifey. Stab, stab. Yes, more. I need more stabbing.
Everyone, fight each other!
Now I can.
I was honestly pretty confused by the opening sequence where it appears you're playing a completely different game called Xeno Slaughter Buck Thunder 2, a retro Doom clone with especially basic graphics and a weird voice contacting you the entire time saying that they're your divorce lawyer who trails off into strange Rick and Morty-esque skits about your wife taking everything from you. This section of the game is just to act as a light battle tutorial before they so abruptly throw you into the fray. In a few moments, you are then unimmersed in your retro experience by your sister who wants to do a line of coke with you and tells you that since your parents are away, she's going to throw a massive party, and you get to pick what your character looks like for absolutely no reason at all, because anytime the player is shown later in the game, you're shown with a non-translucent space helmet. It kind of is something that I hate. It's a bit strange to keep it in the game and not even include it when you're showing end credits with pictures of all the characters in the game. After this pointless little tidbit, you are then interrupted by aliens crashing into your planet, but luckily you find a dead one with a talking gun named Kenny, who helps you in a fight with the disgusting yellow aliens that are invading your planet. You then go back inside the house and he has you attach a warp drive to your microwave stating that he knows you may be a primitive race, so you might not have one, but apparently the thing we make Hot Pockets in is advanced technology enough to warp the house to an alien planet. You then are teleported to Blim City, but not just you. The entire house and your sister are uploaded from the Earth and plopped right into the middle of the street in this huge city. If you look at the house later on in the game, you can actually see alien officers slapping citations on your house for just existing there, since it probably goes against city code to have a home in the middle of the street. Your first task of the game is to walk around and talk to the citizens of your city in search of a man named Gene, who is supposed to be a superstar bounty hunter, but you eventually find him and he's actually a homeless man who lives on a bench. You make a deal with him that is pretty much you will give him your house if you die and he will teach you to be a hotshot bounty hunter. He sends you to get some software for the high-tech bounty hunter suit he gives you from Mr. Keeps because he pawned it off not thinking that he would ever use it again, and once you return, you notice that he's made some renovations to your home, adding a Portal Door Bounty Hunter 5000 or something along those lines. I think it's really funny how Gene keeps calling your sister your mom because he doesn't understand human reproduction or family dynamics since he's an alien. Gene then gives you your first bounty mission since he doesn't have the portal door working quite yet, so he sets you on an easy mission to kill a crime lord in the slums of Blim City that has his talking knife. When approaching the entrance of the slums, I heard a PSA coming from one of the nearby TVs by the magistrate of the city telling the citizens to report any suspicious behavior to the authorities regarding the G3, which is the enemy organization of the game. Honestly, seeing this at the beginning of the game, it made me think that he would possibly be the endgame villain. It seemed like a possible trope for them to play into with the political aspect of everything, but they didn't end up really going that way. But I will talk more about the magistrate later on in the video because he does become mildly relevant to the story at a certain point.
Hello, citizens. I'm Blim City Magistrate Clug Nugman, and I have heard your concerns.
Hey, kid, excuse me, can we get we need to make our way into the slums, please?
No. Hold on. So you really want to get into the slums, huh? Then settle a bet for us.
Come on. Don't make him answer this, man.
No, I want to know.
It's fine, we'll help.
Okay, great. If you saw us at the bar, which of us would you ask out?
Cold, hard, and true. These figures don't lie.
This feels like a trap. I'd rather not say.
Come on, you gotta answer. It's a hypothetical. We know it's not real.
Well, you know, just give us like your gut instinct. Come on.
Don't be afraid. We can take it.
I guess the red guy.
Whoa, seriously?
Okay, come on. You don't gotta say that just to make him feel better. He's a big boy. He can take it if you think he's way uglier than me.
No. They said me. They picked me, dude. They picked me, not you. They picked me. They said I was Hunter, not you.
Well, it's true. Look at you. I'm not a liar, man. I never lied in my life. I look at you and I see filth.
No, well, that's not what they said. They said they picked me. They said I was Hunter. Didn't you say that?
Listen, we're not switching around here. We picked the red guy. That's the direction we're moving in.
Thank you. Thank God. Thank you so much for that changing. I really thought you were going to flake on me. Thank you.
No, fuck you. Change your mind right now. Pick me instead. This is insane. I am so much hotter.
You need to chill out, all right? They picked me, and that's final. That's a final pick. If you want to throw a fit, do it on your own time. Just let me have this one time, man. Hey, thanks for being honest. Look, don't tell anyone, but you can go through my door anytime you want from now on. Our little secret. Free passage in and out of the slums.
Wow, thank you. You have no idea how helpful that is.
After standing on business with Mr. Red Door, you're allowed into the slums. The walk down is riddled with people from the slums wondering what a topsider would even be doing here. You're verbally assaulted by a little annoying boy that keeps calling you fresh meat, and I got kinda stuck in this area, not knowing how to get out for a second, so I had to suffer through his unbearable bullying. You then find his mother soon after, who absolutely hates her own son, wants no annoying family members left alive since his dead father was also annoying. I decided to kill the kid. I mean, that's what he gets for pushing me and calling me names, right? I haven't watched anyone else play through the game, so I'm unsure of what happens if you end up leaving him alive. I wonder if he's still there when you eventually end up returning to the area later on in the story. After this grim scene, you're greeted by some goons of your bounty whose name is Nine Torg, who are these little ant people that I like a lot more than most of the generic enemies in the game. This fisherman tells you some info about the area and Nine Torg, then you learn about Kenny's special technique called the Glob Shot that shoots basically a big AoE volley style attack that also has some applications to the platforming in the game. You eventually find the secret meeting place where Nine Torg's goons are trying to sell off Gene's talking knife named Knifey, whose personality is pretty much the direct antithesis to Kenny's nervous, less confrontational personality, him being a murderous psychopath. The thugs tell you to make sure he's the right weapon for you and let you hold it, and I immediately went and shoved this guy deep into the throats of the sellers and went on my merry way. Knifey unfortunately doesn't talk much in the game aside from the first level you get him. It's kind of a shame because out of all the Gatlians you end up getting, even though Knifey is not technically a Gatlian, he is one of my favorites, right next to my boy Creature, who we will discuss later on as he's the last talking Gatlian you do end up getting. Knifey has some platforming applications as well. He can swing you up to certain objects and let you slide down zip lines around the levels. There's a few fights and platforming moments before you make your way up to the boss of the level where you can get used to the glob shot and knife attack before challenging 9 Torg.
Any last words, 5 Torg?
Is that 9 Torg talking?
Fuck off! I've always said you were the worst, Torg! You know, 7 Torg said the same thing. Right before I killed her.
Damn you!
And you're next.
You got this!
You walk in on 9 Torg with her sister 8 Torg all tied up, seemingly in an argument over something, and once they sense your presence, the battle begins. Up until this point, I wasn't really sure how boss fights were going to be handled in this game, but boy was I delighted when I seen I was going to be pretty much 1v1ing my targets in an arena-style battle. 9 Torg fires a normal laser pistol at you a lot of the time that makes a massive spread. Otherwise, she has this slicing laser that she shoots around the arena in very different patterns. She also has her own version of a glob shot that you can launch back at her with the knife every once in a while. She also does this giant pink laser attack that blasts the whole arena, forcing you to stay in the air latched onto the swing bugs. 9 Torg is a pretty easy boss, and I ended up beating her on the first try. After she's dispatched and you harvest some DNA from her body as proof of the kill, you talk to 8 Torg, who is still tied up, and she makes you a honorary Torg, saying that you are now 10 Torg, and in typical Torg fashion, I murdered her as well, being congratulated by Kenny, coming to the conclusion that she must have just been some sort of secret boss. After returning to Gene, he shows you how to turn in your bounties, and you're finally a real bounty hunter. When you're given your next bounty, you actually have 2 to choose from. Gene says you're finally ready to start taking on G3 cartel agents and lets you choose between Krubis and Douglas. Since Krubis is listed first, I went with him and was transported to the Zephyr jungle, which I'm still unsure if it's a different planet completely from Blim City. You're greeted by a little G3 flying guy who alerts the G3 of your presence. Aside from the G3, there are also some endemic life to fight here in the mites, which die from just one knife attack and are kind of just annoying for the most part. This game is a platformer as well as a shooter, so obviously all the levels have this water bad element to them with the green sludge river that goes throughout the level. You find a den of Fergals, which Kenny tells you has a lot in common with humans, also being used like a drug by the G3 cartel just like your species is. By this notion, it would lead me to assume that only ape-like creatures can be used as drugs in this manner, and I believe Fergals are the only other creature in the game that you actually see getting used as drugs throughout the story. After clearing the G3 out of this little tribal village that was in the jungle, these little Care Bear guys start coming out and thanking you for liberating them from the cartel, as they were being enslaved to mine Fergals since they could not be used for drugs themselves. Since they were just a weak species, they got set to work. You meet this white Care Bear that also seems to be the Pope, and he tells you that he could possibly help you get access to Krubis, and the first step is talking to this guy that lives across the river in a mansion named Ranchi Delarmo, who is a drug addict, and for some reason, it's morally right to manipulate him and get his warp device. You run into this annoying flying guy from earlier that almost has endless voice lines. I don't think I ever would have gotten to the end of them if I wasn't so bad at platforming, and even after this, he has more lines in different areas. The first store you find, other than Mr. Keeps, is this guy who has some of my favorite voice lines in the whole game. I actually cackled out loud when I passed through this section.
Hello? Hello? You got a stuff I got a store. I got a store. Welcome to my shop. You're my first customer ever. Got a lot of stuff to look at, don't I? Take all the time you need. Buying something would really stick it to my dad. I have business in my genes. My genetics, not my hands. I was genetically coded. I was genetically coded to be good at business. You know, when I opened this place up, my dad tried to get a refund from the people who designed me. They wouldn't give it to him though. Fucking loser. Keep that, Dad, you son of a bitch. Oh, you bought it. Yes. Oh my God. Thank you. Go fuck yourself, Dad. Fuck you. Fuck you. Good work, me.
You come up to the mansion that is kind of just a large house, and you get the warp device from Ranchi. Regrettably, I did not really use the warp device function in this playthrough. I realize a lot of the jokes and bizarre things that happen in this game can come from the warp discs, but I honestly never felt like I had the money to buy them. I was busy upgrading my gear so that I could not die in the game. I just realized that up until this point, I have yet to mention that I'm playing the game on hard, and while the difficulty of the game in the first place isn't very hard in general, it still took a good amount of strategy and good equipment to stay alive sometimes. You return to the Care Bear Kingdom after warping in a busy intersection to get across the lake. The Pope tells you in order to get to Krubis, you need to go to the mines and get a blank warp disk and use it to warp in Krubis directly to you so that you can kill him and free them. Can I also just take a moment to show you how amazing some of the fight music is in this game? It's probably a good 30% of the reason why I love this game so much. I really think a good game is one thing, but a good game with banger music is always super memorable. Traversing the mines, you run into another store owned by a Care Bear, and some bears that have imprisoned a G3 goon who want you to teleport in their prince so that he can give you a warp disk. This game gets crazy and puts you in an office desk job simulator and takes a good 5 minutes of your time and lets you listen to some hot gossip between the workers. When you're finally set free from your 9 to 5 shackles, you warp in the prince to get your blank warp disk and watch him through a tantrum.
Prince Chosen One, I am so sorry, but we're out of Klagorsh. Can I interest you in some Plugorb?
I don't want Klagorb! I want Klagorsh! You said that you wouldn't run out of Klagorsh again. You promised! I don't even know why I stick around here. If I leave, you're all dig-dang blooped! Just try and find a Chosen One better than me! I dare you!
Oh, no, please, please. It is already written in the prophecies, set in stone for eons to come. You are the Chosen One. There is no other. Do not dare us.
Exactly. Yet you're out of Klagorsh again. Tell me where that makes sense. Just tell me. There's a real disconnect going on.
We're so sorry, Chosen One.
Ugh, what about my lumbar support? I thought you were gonna get something for my lumbar. It's killing me. I get warped out by G3 maniacs, and I get back and my lumbar is in dire need of support. I look around me and I don't see any ding-dang support. And on top of it all, there's no Klagorsh!
We are so undeserving.
Before you go to Ranchi's disk encoder, watch Ranchi have Fergal withdrawals and encode Krubis' exact coordinates to your blank warp disk and swap the mansion for Krubis.
Where you going to move the jag off? I was talking here!
Krubis has a shotgun type weapon that can shoot spinning metal discs at the player that bounce off walls. He has drills for hands and on his head, so he obviously is digging all around the map constantly, running away from you. This was definitely a better boss fight than the first one. I loved how much I had to think about my positioning. With the extra G3 coming in every once in a while, it took me one death before I beat him, and took his weapon, which just so happened to be another Gatlian named Gus, who is a frog and is the shotgun that shoots discs that Krubis used against you.
Sorry about that.
Ooh, hey, bud, the name's Gus. Feel good to meet you. Look at you, man. Pretty slick taking out Krubis like that, rescuing me from indentured servitude, etc., etc. I love that kind of stuff. You know what? I love that. That's the kind of stuff I love, man. Now, you mind if I tag along with you for a bit?
Gus is kind of just a chill guy, and I really love that about him. He's probably my third favorite weapon you get in the whole game, even though there are a lot of lines. of him doubting himself, saying that he doesn't think that he's your favorite Gatlian, but he also shows you that instead of aiming, he could suck enemies towards you with the L2 button that I mostly just used for pulling smaller, harder to hit flying enemies. After returning through the portal door to turn in the bounty, there's some banter between Jean and your sister in the game about how they're getting on, and then it's on to Douglas. The port takes you to the outskirts of Port Tureen, which is the complete opposite of the Zephyr Paradise, being a harsh, rocky desert that honestly didn't leave much of a mark on me other than how annoying the ground bug creatures are to fight. Once you finally get onto Dredgetown, where your target is said to be residing, you at least get to fight some regular G3 instead of the slippery sandworms. The guard to Dredgetown wants you to kill all of the G3 in Old Town before letting you in so that you could kill Douglas. After you're allowed through, Dredgetown appears to be some sort of underground base or mine for the G3. You get down into the base, and in order to see Douglas, you find out that you need some yellow goop armor to get into the training program. You infiltrate the training program and jump through a few hoops before meeting Dr. Jupy. He tells you that Douglas is holding his family hostage and needs you to help him get them back. He asks you to solve these little pipe puzzles so that he can come with you to Douglas's arena, opening the doors along the way. They're super easy, but a little awkward when you're raring to go and kill the bounty target. It just kind of brings the whole game to a screeching halt for a few minutes while you connect the tubes. The only one I really struggled with was the final one, since there were like 3 separate parts to it.
Idiots! Thank God! Do you know how hard it is to solve a fucking puzzle with a hangover?
Well, shit! Does that mean he's... Huh? I feel pretty stupid right about now.
He was fucking with her!
Oh, fuck off!
I was never Dr. Jupy. There is no Dr. Jupy. Are you shocked, you idiot? You complete fucking morons! Oh, of course you are.
After solving the last of these pipe puzzles, Dr. Jupy reveals that he's been Douglas the entire time, and this honestly took me for a bit of a loop. I hadn't even considered this to be a probability in the first place. It was an interesting twist. Douglas is a bit of a speedster, and I lost to him multiple times. The combination of him zipping around the map from an elevated position and the ground electrocuting me every few seconds had me dazed and confused, until I finally found a spot behind one of the pillars I could hide behind and heal up from his endless onslaught. Douglas has a pink crystal lobbing Halo Gatlian that he drops at the end of the battle named Sweezy.
Alright, dipshit, let's go.
What? No hello? Nice to meet you? Or thank you for saving me?
Why? Like you not dying there was some sort of favor to me? Hi, I'm Sweezy. Thanks so much for rescuing me. How is that, dipshit?
Who has an extremely carefree yet cocky personality. Sweezy shoots pink crystals that just like the alien gun from Halo, except extremely fast, and she can also shoot a bubble that slows time for her R1 ability. Sweezy likes to think that she's the most useful Gatlian, and maybe for some this may be true. I did not really use her as much as I did the other Gatlians though. After returning from the mission, Jean tells you that your presence is requested at the magistrate's office. To your surprise, they teleport you straight there, and he tells you that he built a safe haven for humans and gives you a device that will teleport them directly there if you happen to find them on your travels. He says that his reasoning for doing this is because humans are drugs. He has to keep them off the streets of Blim City so it works. For him and the player, both ways. I honestly thought this was going to be some sort of twist at the end of the game, naming him the villain and revealing that he tricked you into supplying him some humans since he's the secret leader of G3, but unfortunately that was too much storyline writing to expect from a game like this. You return to Jean and he tells you there's a jetpack available at Mr. Keeps, and on the way I met a random guy selling alien semen. Mr. Keeps tells you that he has to backorder the jetpack and to come back later, which is kind of disappointing. You also unlock Blordos, which is a vendor that sells you warp discs. If I'm not mistaken, you're supposed to revisit the old maps and warp them in to see what each one of the warps gives you, but I honestly didn't really touch this feature at all. I really wanted to get all the gun upgrades with the little money I did bring home, and I was not very privy on grinding for cash in a game like this. Returning to Jean, you find out Lizzie has a new alien boyfriend named Tweeg, and you have 2 brand new bounties to choose from. The next 2 bounties, being the Sprendel Brothers and Dr. Giblets, are the 2 hardest levels in the game in my opinion, and Since the Skrendel brothers were first on the list, I started with them. The player is taken to a nighttime version of the Zephyr Paradise. There is a ton of platforming and little skirmishes on the level until you get close to each Skrendel brother, there being 3 in total. There is a lab on this level where you see aliens experiment on humans and Fergals alike, and you also find the next Gatlian here in this area, who is one of my personal favorites named Creature.
Oh, hey! You look nice! My name's Creature. The bad guys did experiments on me and fucked me up real bad in basically every way you can imagine.
Holy shit, am I glad to see another Gatlian alive in here. Are there any others?
Oh my god, yes! There's so many! Oh, but unless you've been alive, then no.
These fucking G3 bastards!
Creature, we're taking on the cartel. You want in?
Oh, no. They take good care of me. Holding me against my will, cutting me open, doing experiments on me. Okay, you know what? Saying it out loud, I think they might actually be bad. I'm part of your team now.
Hell yeah! Welcome aboard, Creature. That's your name?
I guess so.
Creature is a super laid-back Gatlian that seems to be the most level-headed out of all the Gatlians and is always talking about his kids. Creature shoots his babies as ammunition and they run off, cling to enemies, and do damage over time. I absolutely love weapons like this that make me feel like I'm not alone on the battlefield. He even can shoot a mind control baby that brings one of your enemies to the side for a few seconds. Creature also has a puzzle application where you can shoot his babies through these yellow ducts or hookbug hives in order to have them do various tasks remotely. You fight each Skrendel brother individually before fighting them as a team. Jonathan Skrendel is the first brother you encounter. He dons a red leather jacket and slams the ground with green slime. You have to jump over, but unfortunately you can't stay up in the air for long because he will start sending out waves of green smoke clouds at you to bring you down. In my opinion, this was the hardest of the 3. I died to him a few times before finally finding my groove in the fight. Jonathan escapes at the end, and you move on to the next Skrendel, who is named Angela. Angela spawns red bruiser enemies to take you out while they shoot green slime at you. It's a relatively easy battle that I beat on the first try. The last Skrendel brother is named Mona. Mona is a speedster and jets around the map while gooping up the floor, which will damage you over time if you keep standing on it. Immediately after you defeat Mona, all Skrendels come together and form a tower that unites their abilities. The goal of this fight is to break them up by dealing a ton of damage and kill them individually before they return to the totem. This was probably one of, if not the most fun fights in the game. It really makes you consider your positioning and resources in every moment of the battle. It took me quite a few tries to get past this guy, and unfortunately this is the last of the traditional boss fights until you get to the final boss. At the end of the fight, the G3 head honcho speaks with you through the monitor in the arena and pretty much just tells you to stop killing his men before he kills the 2 people you hold closest to you, possibly being your parents.
You watching anything good in there?
I guess it's supposed to be porn, but it's like alien porn, so I don't know. I honestly have no idea what I'm watching. I mean, I was able to get off to it like after a while. Honestly, now I love it though. Not sure why they want me to jack off this much, but you know, I'm happy to do it. Like all the tentacles and the moving parts, I don't know, there's something really endearing about it. Yeah, I like it a lot actually. I mean, if I ever get out of here, I hope I can like bring this with me at least. I mean, I don't even think I could go back to normal porn after this.
We'll get you out of there. Keep your pants on.
When you get back to Gene, you also meet Tweeg for the first time, who is a blue jock alien that doesn't really have much to him other than his nonchalant attitude. Gene also tells you that in order to defeat the G3 head honcho Garmantuous, you're going to need a lot more firepower than you already have, but fortunately he has a lead on another powerful Gatlian. Gene gives you the investigation mode trial on your suit, and you have to go interrogate Blim City citizens and ask them about Dr. Giblets. Most of them aren't very helpful, but Blordo ends up giving some useful info. He points you in the direction of the new High on Life store in the slums where they're selling hyperbongs, which are basically just ways to consume living beings as drugs. The Torgoons attack you again on your way down, and it had me wondering how the landscape of this area would have been if I had left 8 Torg alive way back in the beginning, or even what would have happened if I let the child live instead of shooting him. You pass by an Applebee's on your way to the new shop and see a massive line outside, and you just walk right past it and interrogate the employees on the whereabouts of Dr. Giblets.
Hello, and welcome to High on Life. I'm Barrick. I'm going to be a personal High on Life professional today. That makes sense, right? Does that sound okay? I'm new here.
After chatting with the staff, you're approached by these 2 yellow fellas that warn you about hunting Dr. Giblets, saying that they're already on the case and teleport away. Ignoring those 2 gentlemen, we return to Jean, and the boys are in your house to apologize for quote-unquote intimidating you and say that they work for the magistrate and didn't know that you were also helping them out, and give you some info on Giblets so that you can take care of their issue for them. The magistrate gives you the location of Dr. Giblets' base, and you're on your way back to Zephyr Paradise to deal with Giblets. Making your way back through the level, you see some of the consequences of your actions, seeing that the populated highway chunk that you warped in has formed its own society with its own religion, being the Way of the Highway, and the Care Bear tribe have been enslaved once again by the G3, rendering your previous efforts half useless. Once you get to Dr. Giblets' base, and you have to go through an annoying detective mode sequence that helps you find out where the Gatlian is, and when you find him, he's in pretty bad shape, being heavily experimented on.
That's Dr. Giblets, right?
And once you find Dr. Giblets, he just immediately accidentally kills himself, and you're subjected to the torture chamber that he made specifically for all the people he thought were going to kill him, including all the previous villains, none of them being the player. This wave-style arena battle was honestly pretty challenging at points, where you're subjected to higher elevated combat and poisonous gas. I was having a super hard time finding cover to get away from the onslaught of enemies. After the battle, you can escape the way you came in and save the final Gatlian, who we find out is named Let's Do It, but unfortunately he is messed up almost beyond repair. Upon returning to the purple man on the couch, you give him Let's Do It to fix since he is currently out of order, and Jean tells you that Lizzie has run off with her boyfriend Tweeg, so that you have to go find her. Kenny then starts acting strange and asks you to leave the other Gatlians at home so that he can have a private conversation with you on the way to the Space Applebee's, where Jean says Tweeg works.
Welcome to Applebee's. Table for 2, right this way.
Actually, we're wondering if someone named Tweeg is working today.
He didn't show up for his shift, sorry. Do you still want a table?
You know what? Maybe this is a good spot to talk. Yes, we will take a table.
The entire way down, Kenny keeps suggesting that he has some sort of secret that only Let's Do It knows, since he was a part of the Gatlian rebellion with him. Once you get to Space Applebee's with Kenny, he tells you that the secret he has kept from you and all the other guns is that he was the one who got the Gatlian planet discovered by off-planet forces by helping a smuggler named Rel Del Mar, who introduced him to the G3 in the first place, which put Gatlas, the Gatlian's home planet, on the radar. He says he never wanted anyone to know since he's so ashamed of what he's done, but since Let's Do It is being repaired, he thought it was time to finally tell everybody, since he knows Let's Do It will out him once he's awakened. Suddenly you hear Lizzie and Tweeg arguing outside, and it's suddenly go time, but unfortunately they escape, and for some reason G3 is launching a full-on assault on Blim City and your house. Once you return, you grab your buds and microwave the house to the remains of Gatlas. When the guns claimed that the G3 destroyed their planet, I had no idea what extent they were talking about. I thought there was possibly something left after all these years, but unfortunately it was completely devastated, being a toxic, uninhabitable wasteland.
I don't know what I want.
Okay, fine, I don't know either.
Isn't the sex good?
I don't know. I can't even tell if we're doing it right. We're aliens. None of our shit even lines up correctly. You could be pregnant and I would fucking wonder how that happened.
Somehow we get the location of Lizzie and we teleport there to mediate her argument with Tweeg and get her back to safety after making her realize that Tweeg is a crappy guy that would have sold us out to the cartel anyway. Returning, Kenny finally decides that he needs to tell the other Gatlians the truth and comes clean, but unfortunately the other guns are not having it and they're pissed he kept this from them for so long. I think in a way they are justified in their anger towards him since he did set off the downfall of their entire race and planet, but I don't think Kenny really could have done much about what ended up happening to them. He was just kind of a victim of circumstance.
Hey everybody, I need to come clean about, this is way tougher than I thought.
Spit it out.
Yeah, spit it out.
No, I can't. You're gonna hate me.
We don't have secrets. We're a family.
Well, hold on. I might decide to hate him.
It's okay, Kenny. You can tell us.
Oh, just fucking say it.
Okay, fine. If you don't hear it from me, you're just gonna hear it from Les Do It when he wakes up. Okay, what if I were to tell you that I'm the reason the G3 invaded Gatlas and enslaved our race?
We'd be mad. I don't think I could get over it.
Yeah, don't say that.
You know what? It would really suck to hear you say
Kenny,
that.
come on. That's not true, right?
No. That would be impossible.
Are you doing a bit?
Okay, well, there's more to the story than just a...
Fuck, he's scrambling for words. It really is true. He really did cause the downfall of our civilization.
Kenny, how? That doesn't even make sense. How can it be your fault?
I left Gatlas before the G3 invaded.
But how could that be possible? We didn't even have interstellar travel on Gatlas yet.
I ran into an alien smuggler who crashed his ship on our planet, and I was going nowhere. And he took me with him on these adventures, and it was supposed to be, this fun, awesome thing. But then we got mixed up doing the wrong job with the wrong crowd, Garmantuous and the G3, and I accidentally led them right to Gatlas. It all happened so fast. I thought they killed Les Do It. I told him everything as I watched the light leave his eyes. I didn't know he was gonna survive.
You mean you didn't think you'd ever have to tell us the truth?
No, that's not it.
Oh, this is all sorts of fucked up, Kenny.
I don't even know what to say.
See? I'm not the biggest fuck up here.
Not now, dude.
Everyone, please. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't know what I was doing. We're so close to taking down the G3. Let's just...
Oh, okay. Let's just pretend you're not the reason everyone we know and love is dead, yeah? Sure. Easy. Done. What's next on the agenda? Forgive Garmantuous too?
Come on. That's not fair.
Don't fight. I'm sure we can all figure this out.
No, creature. He can't just drop that bomb on us and expect everything to be the same.
I'm sorry.
Look, I hate to be this guy, but we're running out of time. Nipulon may not stay where he is for long, so I know things aren't ideal, but
Yeah. We'll finish the job.
And then you're out of our lives, Kenny.
Come on, Sweezy. You don't mean that.
Just pull yourselves together for this mission at least. You're professionals. You're bounty hunters. Act like it.
Mm-hmm.
Fine.
Okay, yeah.
Gather everyone up. It's time to get back on track. Nipulon just flew back into his drug lounge on Port Terine, so we gotta strike now. Can you handle that?
Jean is still working on restoring Les Do It, so you go on to find the second to last bounty being Nibulon. This takes us back to the outskirts level, but the Gatlians are still arguing left and right with Kenny.
Oh! You're going with my plan? It's an honor. I will not take this lightly. Shall we take a seat at an open table?
Okay, creature, this was your big idea.
What is there to even talk about?
Thank you, everyone, for coming today to the inaugural Big Friendship Meeting. First item on the agenda is...
You don't have to do this, creature.
No, I insist. Kenny doesn't deserve any of this hate, right, Bounty Hunter?
Well, thank you, but I don't know if that's true.
Yeah, you didn't know what you were doing.
Just because he's an idiot doesn't mean he gets off scot-free.
Yeah, people died. We don't have a home anymore.
No, stop it! I mean, let's be civil here. We're friends.
Are we? Most of my friends don't trigger global genocides.
Well, I don't know if that's the best way to phrase it.
Oh, yeah? How would you phrase it then? Lightly assisting a global genocide?
I didn't know. I didn't know what would happen.
Oh, fuck off. Like, that makes it any better.
But he's also trying to stop it. He's trying to make things right. We all are.
Not like he has much choice. You think he's doing this because it's the right thing to do, Bounty Hunter?
Thank you, Bounty Hunter. At least you have my back.
I have your back too, Kenny.
Yeah, thanks, Creature.
Yeah, but we don't.
Yeah, we still hate you, Kenny.
Creature, this isn't getting us anywhere.
No, it's going perfectly. It has to be going perfectly, otherwise I'll be sad.
Then be sad, Creature. Tough shit. You could just blame Kenny if you want, like we're doing. It's pretty easy.
Can we just bail on this little group therapy session we got going on here and get back to the bounty, which is more important?
Honestly, I'm right there with you. This is a lost cause.
No, it's not a lost cause. Is it, Bounty Hunter? Yes, we will.
Look, fine. Maybe. But let's just deal with Nippelon first, okay? Can we do that?
Whatever. Are we done here? Can we go, Bounty Hunter?
Creature is the voice of reason here and has you take them to the saloon so that they could have an open discussion and possibly get to a place where they can work together, which I really think helped flesh out this character in the latter half of the game and is exactly why he's my favorite gun. Unfortunately, the other guns are not as mature as him and continue to berate Kenny for his actions. You meet the Mac and Cheese brothers who are blocking a bridge and tell you that they won't let you pass until they hear that their father, who is in the saloon across the way, loves them. I went over to find their father and his love, but kind of messed it up and ended up killing him, but fortunately the game lets you lie and they let you cross the bridge made of the love they received, and I honestly just walked back and offed them as well because why not? You have to get gooped again here in order to infiltrate Nippulon's area, and I immediately messed it up by attacking the G3 I saw outside, but after dying to them, the game kind of dropped me where I needed to be, keeping me gooped through the death. The spa seems to be a place where aliens go to do drugs. It's like a hyperbong opium den pretty much. You get in a room with a disgusting alien getting high on a person and the player rages out. We blow our cover, but luckily we had already infiltrated them as deeply as we needed to. You blast and climb your way through the facility and once again reach Helen, who is now Nibulon's secretary, and has you wait in the lobby for a while until he's ready to see you. When you enter Nippulon's office, the battle immediately begins and you're subject to a psychedelic experience after he drugs you with some sort of pink gas. I really hated this level if I'm being honest, and the fight bits were much too gimmicky. I really hate being interrupted in the middle of a boss fight in order to go through these little walking and talking bits. I died a few times to Nippulon, the fight where he multiplies himself, but overall his battle is just super annoying to me and bogged down the ending of the game a bit. I did kind of enjoy the part where you get to use all 4 of the Gatlings at once, though, to finish him off.
Let me have some fun! No mercy for this fucker!
Holy shit, okay, we're back. I think we're back. That was a lot. Is everyone okay? It looks like we really killed him at least. He's dead.
I'm doing, Kenny. I feel bad. And I'm sorry.
When the bounty hunter returns, Jean and Lizzie are put in the final touches on Let's Do It, and Kenny's anxiety is through the roof, only to be surprised that Let's Do It can only say his own name and was kind of maimed beyond being able to comprehend anything except what's right in front of him.
Is he?
Wait for it.
Let's do it.
Les? Is that you?
Let's do it.
Oh, I might have fucked up his speech centers too.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Talk to me.
Let's do it.
So what, all he can say is his name?
This is sad.
Listen, everything else I did was perfect. He can shoot, he can think, he can shit, he just can't talk right.
But he's all in there, right? Like, he knows who I am?
Let's do it.
Les, I can't.
Let's do it.
I'm so sorry.
Let's do it.
I can't believe I didn't have to tell everybody what I did.
Kenny, are you kidding me right now? Fuck off, Kenny.
Fuck off.
What? And I'm happy to see my friend, okay? Fuck.
See, I'm not the worst scumbag here.
Wow, this is really it, huh?
Let's do it.
You got the Earth coordinates, right? It's time for your final mission.
Let's Do It, being a gun of few words, actually has quite a bit of personality in that he always seems ready to help you with any task, letting you know it's time to do it whenever he's recharged. You have a heartfelt moment with the family and proceed to rip through the entire armada of G3 with Let's Do It's OP blasting shots that just completely fry everything in its path, but takes a few seconds to recharge once depleted.
Shit, this is it. It's him.
Eventually, you make your way to Garmantuous for the final showdown of the main story. He's an alien akin to the aliens we've seen in the Spa sucking down humans and flies around on a little saucer while firing volleys of lasers on you to dodge. The fight is pretty fun, probably the second best fight in the whole game to me, right behind the Three Brothers, but I beat this one quicker. The key to the battle seems to just be dodging the lasers correctly, which was a cinch because of my vast Elden Ring experience, dodging crap flying around everywhere and zapping him with Let's Do It every time you get the chance, so I mostly just switched to Kenny and immediately back once recharged. Garmantuous is one tough alien is not taken down by gunfire alone, but fortunately Gene thought one step ahead and gave you a huge bomb to shove up his bum and remotely detonate, but for some reason the remote no longer works and Kenny has to enter the alien to detonate the bomb and repent for his sins, which would have been a great way to end the main game with his dying since, what ended up happening with his voice actor, but the game wants to keep him alive for some reason. I just think that it would have been a seamless transition to Hyperion being a Kenny clone in the DLC. Before you kill him, Garmantuous offers the two people he thinks you love the most in exchange for his life, surprisingly not being your parents, but Jack Black and Susan Sarandon, but unfortunately it's not enough as we blow him sky high and complete High on Life.
What a noble sacrifice.
I can't believe it.
No fucking way!
Oh my god, they survived! They made it! Let's do it!
I'm alive? Is Garmantuous dead?
We owe you big time. The whole universe owes you.
Now you're a fucking hero.
I'm so glad you made it. We did it!
High on Life was a pretty good game. It had its flaws, as any game does, but overall I think it accomplished what it wanted to accomplish, and I'm excited for more titles coming out of these developers, hopefully in the near future. Obviously minus the elephant in the room that I don't have the energy to research and talk about right now, but this game was overall super refreshing for me in a time where I had been feeling like I was in a bit of a gaming slump, and I'm glad I got to take you along with me on the journey, but unfortunately, the game did not end there, as for some reason the devs thought they might be able to yank some more money out of this title, and released a highly criticized DLC being High on Knife.
Sometimes you wanna go where you can drink under and it's a parody of Cheers. Just burn down your home. I can't feel the beat. I'm buried in the streets.
had genuinely been excited to play this DLC after completing the game. It sounded in theory to be pretty neat. I love Knifey, and a whole extra storyline where we get to focus on him sounded amazing. I had heard about the DLC before even playing the game in the first place, and I remembered seeing a post on IGN's Instagram saying that they gave it a super low rating, but how bad could a game that was this good truly mess this up? The bounty hunter, 2 years later, comes back from a hunt with a completely new Gatlian in his hand, being Hyperion. That is really disgusting. I just hate the design all the way through. I tried to avoid using her as much as possible. The game's reasoning is eventually given through a message from Jean telling you to not drop any more Gatlians and lose them, seemingly telling you that's why you don't have Kenny or Les do it. Although I kind of assume Les Do It probably died eventually from all the experiments he went through. Jean tells you that a package came for Knifey, but he hates him so he didn't sign for it, and now you have to go help him get it back, since supposedly it might be important. You arrive on Paroxys, where the post office is supposed to be, and it's such a disappointing environment. The entire place is just a bright white desert with toxic red water everywhere, and it immediately just feels like the devs didn't want to spend any effort on that aspect of the DLC, and focused on other things, which would be fine if there was enough good things about this DLC to justify that, but as you would see, there's really not anything like that. Luckily through the DLC, it starts you off with fully upgraded weapons so that you can blow through all the enemies with ease and not look at the environment for too long. The desert rocks are populated with these snail people, which are okay, I guess. Neither them or their town is very interesting besides the guy that has this card store, but at least they look kind of neat.
Oh my god, you want to play Collector, the Alec? Do not disrespect my beckoning. Oh my god, you want to play Collector, the allocating with me? For real? Please, let me gift you a card to welcome you to our community.
One snail has you do a little challenge in order to win a brand new weapon, which is actually one of my favorite parts about the DLC.
Who are these little fuckers? Oh, that's BALL. It's an acronym. I forget what it stands for. But they operate the gun for you and shoot out balls, so there you go. Doesn't need to stand for anything, just shoots balls. You ready to learn how to use it?
This challenge has you picking up Ball, which is a gun that's surprisingly not a Gatlian, but 3 little guys that launch pinballs at people and utter indiscriminate noises at you. I absolutely love them. I wish I had this thing in the main story. You can rapid fire these pinballs by timing the shrinking diamond in the middle with the return of the ball, and the gun also shoots out 3 little bumpers that automatically bounce the balls rapidly in a short distance for you, dealing massive damage to both single and groups of enemies. The player needs to secure safe passage to the post office base, so they have the idea to get thrown there by the big green monster that's sitting in the pink acid lake across the way named Toxo. This is one of the better moments of the DLC. I feel this guy has a lot of character and effort put into him. The best bit, and probably most fun I had in this game, is when he asks you for one last favor after asking you to clear most of his body of leeches, telling you to also clean the leeches off of his butt that you have to go through a tunnel to reach underground. And there's a parody of Cheers down there for some reason, and Brendan Fraser is also in attendance.
Making your way through a cave to a butt takes everything you got. Taking a break from an assless life sure would help a lot. Wouldn't you like to see an ass? Sometimes you wanna go where you can drink under an ass. And it's a parody of Cheers. Sorry that last part didn't rhyme, just wanted to mention Cheers. Just making sure you know this is a Cheers parody. Also Frasier's in this one too. We didn't even ask. We're just using Frasier illegally.
What the hell is this?
So tell me, how's the wife doing, Gorm?
Well, Zam, if I knew that, maybe she'd stop yelling at me to listen to her better.
I'll be, if it isn't our old friend the bounty hunter.
Oh, fantastic. We'll play along, but we've never been here before.
Sure you have. You guest starred on season
All right,
2,
we did it.
episode
We cleaned
6.
his off.
It's season
Now let's
4,
go.
episode
Quit
17.
fucking around down here.
Come over here. Let's all take a shot with the big shot.
What do you say, bounty hunter?
You know, a man who listens is very attractive to most women.
Sorry, Cyan. Can you repeat that? But hey, you're the guest of honor. Whatever you want, it's on the house.
How come I never get that kind of treatment?
When's the last time you saved the galaxy from the G3?
Hey, I'm working on it.
You get to take a shot at the bar and converse with the patrons and even do a little jig up on the table. It was a cool little getaway from all the strange tasks I'd been doing, and I was hoping that there would be a lot more moments exactly like that later in the DLC, but I can say now that this is where most of the good of the DLC ends. Toxo keeps asking for more and gets mad that you no longer want to do what he says, so he throws you over to the next area, slightly closer to your destination, being this ranch that raises these disgusting creatures that we want to book passage on for some reason. The owner pretty much shoos you off and says he can't really help you until the poachers are gone and you have to go murdering again before crawling up the rear end of one of these things on the way to the post office.
So, when's the last time you went on a date?
Oh, well, this is embarrassing. Don't make fun of me, okay?
I would never.
I've actually never been on a date, if you can believe it.
Shut up!
You shut up! I'm serious. I guess I'm just a late bloomer. I don't know. It just never happened. There were times when we were right at the edge and I thought maybe it would happen, but it didn't happen.
There's a guy inside the creature that I'm going to assume is some sort of leech or parasite that's peeved we're inside of his property, and creature has to flirt his way out of the situation or else we would get kicked out. So we had to buy ourselves some time before we reached the post office. The guy eventually kicks us out, but we're finally in the post office to find the package, but it seems the whole place has been turned into a Dead Space level with low light and jump scares that kind of just gave me a headache. You have to keep ripping through box after box tediously in order to find the package, and are approached by a disgusting hybrid alien that keeps running away, and suddenly the walls protrude and start speaking to you. She tells you that she's the one that took the place over and is indenturing you into her servitude in exchange for keeping you alive. There's another work simulator here that you click through for a while until you see a live human inside one of the boxes, helping you realize you need to stop this monster before more people get hurt again.
Hey, Stelson, what do you got for us?
Oh, I found your package. I mean, if your boss will let you have it.
I won't! Oh my gosh, my package! Oh, thank you, Stelson, you're the best! Come on, bounty hunter, open it up! Oh my god! Oh my god, this can't be real! Is this really full chainsaw mode? Oh, I used to have one of these back on my home planet! Fucking hell, I feel amazing! I'm more powerful than ever! Come on, swing me around a bit! Come on! Yeah, that feels fucking good! Okay, now snap me into that nice squishy spot!
Oh god, you're really not gonna listen to me anymore, are you? My life is ruined.
What are you doing? Try out my new chainsaw upgrade!
You then find Knifey's package, and it upgrades him to a chainsaw knife, which is kind of a little too late, only getting this upgrade that the whole add-on was supposed to be based around halfway through the DLC. The chainsaw does a lot more damage than the basic knife, killing most enemies in just a few whacks, and also allows you to skate around on the goopy walls that the monster resides in so that you can destroy her organs and finally kill her. Sliding around the walls was fun, but all of the rapid movement was not really helping with the headache I was getting at the time too. You tear through the creature's goopy parts bit by bit and finally challenge the core of Mux.
There you are.
She's one of these bosses that just hurls endless crap at you to dodge left and right, like laser beams and large crates. Once you get her down to a certain health level, she drops you in a hole that makes it a bit harder to avoid her onslaught, but eventually you whittle her down, zip up to her brain, and tear Mux to shreds. Stefan, the employee that helps you in the beginning, becomes the CEO of the post office and gives you the return address to Knifey's planet, and you teleport over. Knifey's people absolutely hate him because they're a peace-loving race and he's a complete murderous psychopath, and they were just sending him his stuff to keep him away while they ascended to knife heaven, but one of them ends up hating on Knifey so bad that they're denied ascendance, and we get to tear his guts out, resulting in the only part of the DLC that really ever made me laugh out loud.
Knifey, you don't need these assholes. If you want a family, look around you. You've already got one. Come on. Right, guys?
Oh, yeah. That's right, Knifey.
Yeah, Knifey, we love you. We could be your family.
Do you mean it? Really?
Yeah, dude. I mean, sure, you're a little sharp around the edges, but hey, so am I. And it's nice having someone else on the team who isn't afraid to speak their mind.
For real. We couldn't do any of this without you, bud. We're contract killers, and you love killing more than the rest of us all combined.
Yeah, I am fucking great, aren't I? You know what? Fuck all you peace-loving knives! Ha ha ha, yeah! Welcome to Knifey's world, you dickheads! Fuck these traitors! Stab him, bounty hunter! Stab that pretentious wannabe knife! Here! Fucking knife! You think you're a fucking knife? You're not a knife! I'm a knife! Why didn't you love me? You were just like this! Die, fucking hell! Die! Let's do this! Get them all! Show them the real true knifey! What are you doing? Fuck you!
I loved the entire experience of High on Life. Even with the rushed feeling DLC, I really think this game was made with a lot of love, and it showed what this developer could do outside of a lot of the mobile titles that they have made that were pretty good for the most part. I mean, who didn't love Pocket Mortys when it came out? It's unfortunate that the game and its developer had to be bogged down by the unfortunate legacy of one of their departed founders, but I really hope there's still a future for titles like this from them regardless of the circumstances that surround them. A studio, a game, or a TV show is not just the work of one person, it's the blood, sweat, and tears of hundreds of people that woke up day after day to do the teamwork to make the dream work, and I really think they made that happen with High on Life. If you enjoyed this video and you have any tips or personal opinions on High on Life and your experiences with the game, please leave them down in the comment section below and leave some suggestions for other games you'd like to see me talk about or try in the future on this channel. I'd like to thank you all for watching. All that I ask is that if you like this video, please leave a like and subscribe down below. I will be releasing a new video every Monday.
Hey, it's me, I'm Jimmy Goofster. Welcome to another prank call show with me, the Goofster. Let's get our first prank caller on the line. Ring, 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 ring. Hello?
Hi. Who is this?
It's me, Jim Goofster. I'm the prank caller.
Oh, so you're prank calling me?
Bingo, buddy, bingo. What is your refrigerator going nuts over there?
Is it what?
Excuse me. Is your refrigerator going nuts?
What do you mean? What are you asking me? Is my refrigerator going nuts? What does that mean?
Oh, it's just like, is it sparking? Is it falling apart? Is the door off the hinges?
No, it's my fridge is fine, man.
Okay, whoops. Hanging up now. Whoa, all right, click. That was not a good one. Let's try one more silly prank phone call. Here we go. Ring, 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 ring. Hey, who's this? It's me, Jimmy Prankster. Sorry, Jimmy Goofster's my name. I got confused because I do so many prank phone calls. I called myself Jimmy Prankster by accident. All right. Why are you calling me? To do a prank! Okay, that tracks. That tracks. You kind of ruined it by telling me you're gonna do a prank. Whoopsies! My bad, hanging up. Click. Okay, I'm not so good at this. I'm not having a good time. This is a bad episode. This one's really fucking going down the drain. All right, let's try another freaking silly ass prank phone call. Ring, 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 ring.
Hey, how you doing? Who is this?
It's me, I'm the prank phone call guy from TV. I'll flip out! Jimmy Goofster.
Oh, okay. Give it to me. I can take it. I'm ready for like a good prank.
Oh, perfect. Good. I got a good one for you. Uh-oh. It's me, your doctor. You have cancer.
What the fuck are you doing, man? That's not a good prank. That's like a fucking, that's a mean prank. Like if I fell for that, that would tear me apart, man. I don't want to have cancer. Oh, fuck, dude. You gotta get better at pranks.
All right, and I'll try my best. Click. Okay. All right. I'm really losing confidence in my pranking abilities. Let's do another prank, though. Let's just hope we get this one right. Ring, 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 ring. Nobody's answering. Oh, fuck. All right. God damn it. I really thought they would answer the phone, and then we could do another prank, but we're out of time. That was it for the Jim Goofster Show. King of the pranks. Everyone go fuck yourself. All right. Show's over. Stop. Why? Watch out. My feet hurt. My prank show. I'm really bad at them, and now it's over. But you. God damn it. All right, one more prank. One more prank. Here we go. Ring, 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 ring. Ring, 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 ring.
Oh, hello. Who's this?
It's me, your dad.
Oh, hey, Dad. I love you.
I love you too. I love you so much. I'm proud of you. You did a good job at baseball.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I've just been waiting a long time to hear those words from you. You're not really my dad, are you? You don't sound like my dad. I was
6 feet, please.
Second, but you don't sound like my dad at all, and I'm smart.
God damn it, just fucking, please, I need this. I need this to work, man. I've been doing shit pranks all day, and this one's my last shot. So just say you got pranked. Say the Goofster got you.
Okay, dude, Jesus, the Goofster got me. Hey, good.
Ooh, touch me again. I need it. All right, you all saw that. I had a good prank. I had a really good one. That was one of the best ones I've ever done, actually. So let's go out on a high note. Show's really over now. Don't keep watching. The Goofsters still got it. Thank God. Oh my God. I'm gonna level with you. If I didn't land that last prank, I was absolutely gonna jump in a bathtub with a toaster and just let electricity kill the shit out of me. And thank God I didn't fuck it up, because now I can live to see another day and do more pranks. See you next week on Jimmy Goofster's Big Fat Prank Show. Mwah! Love you. Goodbye.